the five flags theory. So you're going down the rabbit hole of sovereignty and global citizenship. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that could completely change the way you think about living and working around the globe. It's called flag theory, a strategy for optimizing your life by diversifying across multiple countries. Whether you're a digital nomad, an entrepreneur, or just someone curious about living internationally, living abroad, this video is for you. Let's explore the five flags and how they can help you achieve freedom and flexibility. So, the five flags, by the way, are citizenship, residency, business base, assets, and lifestyle. The idea of five flags was thought up 50 some odd years ago. It kind of started as a 3-flag model. Some include up to 7 or 8 flags, and everyone does it a little bit different, but 5 flags just kind of sounds the best, rolls off the tongue. So without further ado, let's explain the first flag, which is citizenship. The idea is to obtain citizenship in a country that offers you the most benefits, be it lower taxes, visa-free travel, or political stability. Think of it as your ultimate safety net. Countries like St. Kitts and Nevis or Malta offer citizenship by investment, and obviously the price depends on the country. St. Kitts is $150K, $200K, Malta is $1 million. Just to give you an idea how valuable these passports, these citizenships are to people, right? So having a passport not only gives you peace of mind, but also opens up a world of opportunities for travel, business, and lifestyle. And you want to ideally have a citizenship portfolio that sort of spans the globe, spans a couple different regions. Maybe you have a European passport and a South American passport, and maybe something from North America or Central America as well. It can be good to have, there's lots of good ways that different citizenships could work together. If you have two countries that are literally side by side, like Canada and the USA, there's an interesting dynamic of having citizenship from two countries that are side by side. There's also the dynamic of having two citizenships that are far away. They're on different continents, and they each bring something new to the table. So whatever way you do it, find things that are complementary and ultimately just try to get the most out of your citizenships possible. Next, we have the residency flag. This is where you choose to live or at least establish a legal residence or tax residence in a country with a favorable environment, like low or no income taxes. Think of places like Dubai, Monaco, or Paraguay, or even Portugal for its golden visa program. Your residency doesn't have to be where you spend most of your time, but it should be a place that gives you maximum benefits and minimal headaches. One thing we talk about a lot on Twitter at MyLatinLife is residency stacking and being a resident of more than one country at a time, being a resident in like 5 different countries. Maybe you're from Canada or the USA, and chances are that's the only residence you have. You're a resident of Canada and you haven't really thought of this idea that you can obtain residency in other countries without actually living there full time. But it's entirely doable. Tons of people we know, including myself, have 5+ residencies. We have permanent residency in Mexico, in Paraguay, in Panama, countries like that around the world that offer residency, and you don't have to be there year round to maintain it necessarily. Okay? So the second flag is residency and maintaining a portfolio of residencies. The thing that happened in 2020, you might have noticed that travel privileges were severely curtailed, but citizens could go back to their home countries. What's interesting, though, is that also residents could go back to their resident country. So we saw, for example, in Canada, that permanent residents of Canada were able to go back during 2020. And similar things happen with other countries around the world, where residents got extended some of those same privileges that citizens do. The third flag is business base, where you set up your business. Ideally, you want to incorporate in a country with favorable tax laws and strong protections for businesses. Countries like Singapore, Estonia, Cayman Islands, the USA are popular for entrepreneurs. By choosing the right jurisdiction, you can legally reduce your tax burden and operate with greater flexibility. This is a key step for anyone looking to optimize their business operations globally. Okay? Having businesses in particular jurisdictions is going to be related to where you're a resident and where you're a citizen as well. So the third flag really ties into the first two flags. And the right jurisdiction might be dependent on where you're a resident. Maybe you're trying to have your business where you are a resident, or maybe you want to have your business somewhere you're not a resident. Okay? Another thing to think about with the business base is asset protection, right? And maybe how many layers of management, or what is your corporate structure going to look like? Do you have maybe a US company that's owned by an offshore company? These are all considerations to think about for the business space. The fourth flag is assets. Gold bars, stock certificates, vaults of assets. So flag number 4 is where you store your wealth. This could mean banking in a country with strong asset protection laws like Switzerland or Singapore, or investing in real estate in a stable market like Germany or Australia. Okay? So assets is all about protecting your assets in a jurisdiction that values privacy and security and ensures that your wealth is safe from instability or excessive taxation. A lot of really important words there. Privacy is huge when it comes to assets. You want to have significant assets in places where there's a certain level of privacy, and it's not like, I don't know, Sweden or the Nordic countries where I think they just put people's net worth on the internet. So ideally you want something a little bit safer than that for your asset jurisdiction, right? The other piece of it could be taxation as well, depending on the assets. There could be capital gains taxes in some jurisdictions, and then in other jurisdictions they don't have capital gains tax or inheritance tax, right? If you're trying to give something to the next generation. So where you have your active business from flag number 3, and where you have your passive assets, flag number 4, these can be different countries. And then the 5th flag is lifestyle. Picture beautiful beaches, peaceful countrysides. So the 5th flag is all about lifestyle, designing your lifestyle. Where do you want to spend most of your time enjoying life? It could be the beaches of Thailand, Bali, Mexico, the Mediterranean, the south of France, right? So your lifestyle flag is all about choosing the place that aligns with your personal interests and provides the quality of life you're looking for. So most people used to optimize their life for where the jobs were. And then I think in the future, people are going to increasingly optimize where the lifestyle is, because work and where you live has been divorced as never before due to the internet and working online, being a digital nomad. And now people want to be in beautiful places. They don't want to be in depressing cities anymore. They want to be in sunny, beautiful places like Mexico and the Mediterranean, south of Italy maybe. And that could be the lifestyle flag. And you need to think about how this lifestyle flag ties in to the rest of the flags, because obviously, famously, if you spend more than 6 months per year in a high tax country, then you're supposed to pay tax there. So maybe you want to set up a number of different lifestyle bases so that you're never spending more than 6 months a year in a particular lifestyle base, okay? And then with your lifestyle bases, you could have differing levels of substantial ties. Maybe you want to keep low substantial ties in a lifestyle country so they don't try to tax you. Maybe you want to rent instead of buying a vacation home. Maybe you have a yacht there. So these are all considerations that you need to think about in the lifestyle and where your lifestyle flag is, and then consider that lifestyle flag in relation to your citizenship and residency flags. Here's a tip, by the way, when it comes to lifestyle and really overall for flag theory, is that you are treated better in countries that you're not a citizen of, okay? Your citizenship country takes you for granted when you're there. They try to tax you. They don't give you any additional benefits, or you're already there, so they don't have to attract you as a new resident. Whereas when you are a tourist abroad, like say an American in Europe, you're actually treated better than the locals because you're there for 4 to 6 months a year maybe. You don't have to pay income taxes. You don't have to deal with a lot of things that the locals would have to deal with. And they'll even sell you $1 homes and give you different tax benefits. Italy has the lump sum 100K. Different countries have different tax benefits to newbies. And so there was a thing where the Italians were mad that the billionaires could pay this 100K lump sum, but for the Italians they couldn't because it was only available to foreigners who moved their domicile to Italy. But Italians couldn't take advantage of it. So it's just one example of millions about how you're actually treated better when you're abroad as opposed to when you're in your home country. I'll give you another random one. People, like cops, don't like arresting foreigners because it's so complicated. Cops only arrest locals. I remember one time I was in Spain and my buddy was French, and they wanted to arrest him for like a drinking on the street thing. And then when he said he was French, they're like, whatever, it's not worth our time. Or they were gonna so if he was Spanish, he would have probably maybe done a night in the drunk tank or something like that, or paid a fine. But since he was a foreigner, they just said, you know what, it's not worth the paperwork. You can just go. So all the time we see this, and I encourage you, dear listener, to try to put this in your own personal life. Try to note examples where foreigners are actually treated significantly better than locals. And so tying that back to the 5 flags and flag theory is that when you have your assets in a country that you're not a citizen of, they're going to treat those assets better. Does that make sense? When you're a resident of a country that you're not a citizen of, they're going to treat you better as a resident. But when your residency and your citizenship are the same country, you're actually often mistreated. That's when they want you to pay the most tax, etc. But if your resident country and your citizenship country are different, you kind of have a jurisdictional protection there. And then when your business is in a third country, well, countries treat foreigner-owned businesses better than they treat local-owned businesses, because they know that if they are harsh on foreign-owned businesses, then FDI will dry up and foreigners will stop investing and it'll tank their economy. So they always treat the foreign-owned businesses better. That's why they also treat the assets better. If you're from, Switzerland, they probably want all your gold. Like the Swiss government probably wants all your gold. But if you are a foreigner with gold in Switzerland, they're going to treat you like $1 million because they need to maintain a certain level of attracting foreigners and not being, not treating badly the foreigners, so that they can continue to attract capital from abroad, because no country can survive without FDI and without investment coming internationally. Like you can't thrive with only domestic investment, which is why with 200 countries around the world, they're always trying to attract citizens from the other countries. It's basically a 200 country competition for your capital, for your time, for your assets, right? And so when you have everything internationalized in this 5 flags framework that we're explaining, then you have 200 countries that are competing for your business. So there you have it, the 5 flags theory. By strategically planting these flags in different countries, you can design a life that's optimized for freedom, security, and adventure. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to expand your global footprint, understanding flag theory is a powerful tool for anyone aiming to live a life on their own terms. If you would like to implement more aspects of your internationalization plan, hit us up at MyLatinLife. There is a link in the description of this video where you can book a call with us, and we can help you get passports, residencies, foreign bank accounts, lower your taxes, all that stuff around the world, obviously with a special focus on Latin America. So if you found this video helpful, Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. And tell us in the comments, where would you plant your 5 flags? Until next time,